So this is Kit. You might remember him from the Raze Ascendant game on Split from this video. He was given a pretty strict routine to follow for a month just to see if he would be a pretty good candidate for this series. In this series, we're just going to be coaching him on a weekly basis and trying to help him along his journey to reach his goals of Immortal 3 and potentially Radiant. If you guys are interested in coaching yourselves, at least private one-on-one coaching, feel free to join the Discord and check out the coaching channel there. There will be more details on private coaching. And if you ever want to reach out via DMs, feel free to do so as well. All right, last time we VOD reviewed Kit was a month ago now. It was Ascendant 2. Now he is Immortal 1. Last month's note, util usage is good. Peaks and crosshair placement looks good, but sensitivity looks unbelievably high. Oh yeah, because he was shaky, I believe. Maybe the flicks were so fast, I forget. Double satcheling, ults order, offense go on execute to create space. Looking at enemy comp, you've called a few contact plays, which is set around by baiting util. So looking at comp, see if they have a lot of stopping power. Okay. Picking aggressive map control and postment. Okay. More aggressive postment. Jing's playbook of A-ramp. Rotate faster, I remember this. You're giving B play B take because of what? Oh yeah, he was playing B heaven instead of flooding on site. Okay. The kind of map specific stuff. See what happens on bind. Who are you roasting today? We're roasting Kit today. Doing a follow-up to Kit. He's been put on a schedule, a pretty strict schedule that Ulrich put him on. Kind of like the schedule that I put for my private students. He stuck for it for a month, so we're doing a follow-up VOD. Okay, a short start, TP coordination. Playing a 5 duelist bind game, love that. Got absolutely shit on. This chamber is like kind of late though, to be fair.
Oh my god.
I mean, I like the jump spot playstyle. You're kind of just getting really in for a short. You could maybe argue if we're being a little bit better with the pre-round, since we have 3 towards A, we might want to consider aggressing A short a little bit. So we could push up into the cubby. We could even early Boombot, but one of my favorite plays to do on this map is just Boombot off barrier. You can't aim at the shadow anymore because short got changed. You just aim a little bit more to the right. Early Boombot like this and just walk down short and peek left side. Boombot will kind of clear your right for you. It doesn't go all the way anymore because the length of the Boombot's shorter, but it's one of my favorite plays to do. And then I'll just peek and try to get out. And the worst case scenario that happens is when I Boombot this and I peek left side and I can't get it out, I'll just nade and I'll just fight here. So that nade might buy me time, and I might actually just be able to jump out with the nade. Any questions on that, Mr. Kit?
No, I don't have any questions on that. I guess something that I do is I Boombot on top of the box, but then I don't aggress short. Would that still be considered a good play?
So I guess the strength of playing this position is the reason why you would do it here instead of aggressing. So obviously this is an aggro peak. If you don't want to go for that aggro peak, playing here is good specifically because it's closer range. So you can kind of stop the push with the nade, like bounce off your nade here. Or you could also nade the sky dog if you're playing close, either right side or deep left. So to me, that's the main reason of why you would want to play around this area. And then more of so that Boombot is a supplement rather than, oh, I'm playing here specifically for the Boombot. Like you're playing here for the nade spots and the Boombot is just an option, if that makes sense. Whereas like the play you're doing here with the aggro Boombot is more of a play specifically for the Boombot and to take the duel. The combo on those two are a little bit different, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
3550. What does that math do? Line armor. This is 4, so you would be able to get 1 satchel, right? What is that math? 33, then 35. So 1 satchel, light armor phantom. Yeah, I think that buy is way better than full armor guardian. Light armor phantom over full armor guardian, especially on a map like bind. I really like to have the phantom just because of the close fights. Beta took TP. Damn. I guess that's another downside of playing up here, top tank, is that if we do have hookah contact, it's a little bit late. I'm not saying this spot is bad inherently. It's just, it doesn't let you capitalize off of hookah TP play. Like you wanted to coordinate on pistol round. The young rotate. You want to have nade in hand here, whatever you rotate B. 2 dead hookah players means that it's likely a B split. Otherwise, why would there be 2 hookah? So they're probably coming to B long here. You should have nade out just in case there's something, and then you can up throw nade. If you're rotating, you always have eyes on minimap with your nade out just in case you need to do it. If you're going for the jump throw nade, you kind of aim kind of low here and just jump throw, and then it goes pretty deep. If you extend your running a little bit, you can get it all the way closer to long. Something like this, where you're a little bit closer. And then your nade pellets can be closer to long. I guess since I'm showing it, if you aim high somewhere around this like little square thingy that pops out and you just run through it instead of jumping, it lands closer to front sight. So like if they're hookah dropping or something like that, I like to do that one. Playing top tank again. Do you have any type of thought process when you play up here? Like, why do you choose this spot over others, for example?
I feel like I play up here just because I don't want to call it an unexpected angle, but harder to deal with angle. And since Phoenix has been playing hookah fairly frequently, having the high-low to some extent.
Just to switch it up a little bit makes sense. With the kill short, you're still challenging. It's kind of interesting with the Astra's the one fighting you. So that's bomb. Right, we do end up getting bomb, which is nice. There's a few things you can do now that I'm thinking of. One, you could actually just nade to try to push them away from bomb, so you can control bomb a little bit more aggressively. Two, you could just reposition completely, so you might even consider going to B. You might even go showers and double up the Reyna here, which is being really unexpected. This goes back to the idea of being active. Getting the kill and just going for another is an ego sort of thing, right? Like chances are if they know you're there, they re-swing you and you get traded, it's a 4v4. I'm not saying it's bad to do. I've done it plenty of times where like if you feel like you're feeling it and you think you can get the secondary duel and open the round with a 5v3 instead, like you can do that, but it's a lot more risky because you're not playing chamber or jet. That might be a habit you have from playing jet. Like if you got a kill without dash, you pop dash, you would just sit here and go for another kill. Hopefully they swing you and then you would dash away. But as Raze, you kind of want to think more about repositioning. So for me, that would either be nading, pushing forward, dropping, going to showers, or maybe even full rotating B. But in my opinion, I think I would just nade and push forward just because her kit is close range specific. So being top tank, you can't really utilize the close range stuff. Right, if I'm top tank, get this kill, I nade, I drop down. That buys me time to get close to follow up with Boombot. And then based on what this Boombot aggroes, I might be able to throw a Satchel somewhere and get another kill, or Satchel left side to delay while I kill right side, something of that sort. But it just lets me be a little bit more in tune with my util. I was like, when I'm up here, the only util I can use is my nade. So this position doesn't leverage your kit at all. It gives you a fight, which is a favorable fight, right? It's a vertical fight for you. It's an off angle, height advantage, whatever you want to call it. But as soon as you get the fight you want here, you want to start thinking about using your kit to get more value, because Raze is the only agent that can really do this, right? Whereas like sitting up here, anyone can do this, but some agents can do it better than others. Like I said, Jet, Chamber, maybe even Reyna, but Raze is not one of those. Just try to think about using your util in a way that kind of aligns with Raze. Let's see how it plays out though.
Fuck, kind of too short. More.
Just an aim to
Too
be
short.
honest. We're just fighting them. So you get another kill and you get traded. Like the outcome's pretty good for us. But again, notice how we don't have nade. And this, I'm going to be bringing this up a lot, because if you die without your nade on defense, you're doing something wrong. Generally. Not all the time, but generally, because you want to lead most of your duels with the nade, right? Like it's a very powerful ability. You get resets on your nade. Instead of thinking about just getting kills off of positioning, you want to think more so about how to get kills off of comboing your utility. And to me, that's a very important concept with Raze. I've touched on it before, but I like to think of Raze as like a fighting game. Like if you ever played Super Smash Bros, or I don't know, even Street Fighters.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, you
when
like
you were saying comboing.
Yeah, you combo like, so like I Boombot swing, or I Satchel peek, like I throw Satchel at them, swing, or nade swing. Like you always want to kind of combo like that. And to be fair, I'm not really good at Super Smash Bros, so I don't know if it really works like that, but that's kind of what I'm thinking about. You really want to combo your abilities here with your swings. You can think about that too if you play any flash agent. So you can see tab here, money. The money's kind of shit. They do have Phoenix ult and they do have Chamber ult. So I'm thinking at the very least they have a decent buy, right? Like Chamber might buy one, he might op, like it's kind of scary. So by that logic, I would be playing fairly passive and for the rush. Like I'm kind of playing anti-rush. And I don't want to hard peek too much against the Chamber ult. With that type of thinking, you picking U-Haul here is pretty good. You can nade when they come up, like kind of doing Jing play style. Another position you might consider, just because you played A so far every single round, is you could play B. If you play B and they try to do like a B split with Phoenix ult through hookah or Phoenix ult through long and then Sky going the opposite, you would be able to stop one of those areas and just stop the split completely. And another thing to consider again is because they have those ults, I'd rather stop them from hitting B rather than A, because I don't want to play retake B. Get picked from the Chamber ult, then unlucky. We don't even really want to be jump peeking here, to be honest. This guy fighting is kind of dumb. Yeah, and he dies, which is why it's dumb. If you die to this guy, you throw him around. Yeah, jump peeking this guy also is really bad. If he's good, he kills you here. You don't need to get more info. This Phoenix just died to the op. We know op A short. The reason why you jump peek is to get safe info. So you're getting redundant info here, which is even risking your life. Even though jump peeking is quote unquote safe, against an op, it's not necessarily safe. We already have the info. Don't get redundant info. Just think about what you can do with the info. With that said, what can you do with the info? As soon as this Phoenix dies, 3, 2, 1, what do you think is the best play?
I mean, since he died right in front, it's impossible for them to push off of that.
Oh yeah, the Chamber slow, gotcha. Okay.
So I wouldn't want to use Nade yet. but probably preparing to use Nade. So, because they get the pick on A, they do know A is our generally strong site, so they might want to commit after that.
Okay, so when you're trying to get prepared for the nade, do you have a general idea where you want to throw it?
I usually just throw it right above boxes.
Above boxes, so like bouncing it off here, so it lands here,
Yeah.
like that. Okay, and then do you like to peek with that nade?
Really depends. Since chamber is here, I probably wouldn't peek off it, but I'd use it to help rotates.
Okay.
One more, my bad.
Oh, please, no.
Nice, good shit.
Nice. So
Fucking cry.
we didn't really do too much, but you did delay with the nade for the Uriel. They actually weren't even able to execute. It's kind of nice. Run me through the thought process here, and then again after that, maybe we can outline some things you could change.
Pre-round here, I called for the Reyna to push up with my Boombot.
Oh.
Because since we have a Reyna, I think it's just better for her to peek that than me.
Yeah. Why the Boombot over the nade? I'm not no right or wrong here. I'm just curious.
I feel like Nade's much stronger, so I don't want to use it so early if they don't end up committing.
Gotcha. Then off of the Boombot aggro here, do you think it's better to use nade rather than taking the duel since they are here?
Yeah, thinking back on it, it's definitely a lot better.
In the future, if we're doing this play, we would Boombot, wait for aggression, would have nade out in your hand already, and then off contact you would nade, right?
Yeah, because then also it makes it easier for Reyna to get out.
After this nade here, do you think you would do anything differently? And what's the thought process on what you're doing now?
My thought process here was really slow in game. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for them to push and then I'm gonna out aim them. But then I remembered, oh, Phoenix is pushing up. I can't just wait because he's gonna flash me.
Okay, so how can you fight that in the future?
Probably just satcheling out early and trying to reposition into U-Haul.
Okay, I see that, like a repositional play. That could definitely work. On this example, I kind of want you to think about how would you actually hold your ground here and make this maybe potentially a winnable or like a winning position.
Probably throwing a satchel on the ground.
Okay.
Then off the flash or the peak. Then satchel them up, get that kill, throw another satchel on the ground.
Okay.
Just try and fight there as long as possible.
Weaving the satchels. You could even consider changing nade position since it's a little late, right? Like this guy dies.
Yeah.
When I hear Phoenix Ult or Skydog, there's two ways to throw nade. So doing the nade like this, in my opinion, is a little too slow, right? Chances are if they're already swinging like this, the nade comes in, they'll just keep swinging wider. And then they'll just start pushing. So this nade doesn't necessarily stop the push unless you do it really early round. It just cancels Skydog, right? That's what this nade is for. So when you're kind of playing close 8 short like this, and they might rush you, the better nade to throw is either here or here. And you can see they both landed in similar positions. That one actually bounced the wrong way. I wanted to bounce a little bit front like this, right, to kind of completely cancel the hit. Because if the nade lands here, they can't even jump up on the box. See? So what it could look like is Boombot, you know, you could just wait, you know, get aggro on the Reyna, and then get ready to nade this, completely cancel the hit. And then you might even swing behind the nade to get a kill. And then start throwing, you know, satchels like you said to take fights. But to me, the big thing to change here is actually the nade position. You could even nade left side if you wanted to, but I think to me the best nade is just to throw it here, like I said, for the rush. And then if you did throw this nade, right, boom, nade, then you could throw your satchel here, and then when he runs past it, the Phoenix ult, you could checkmate him because the nade pops here, he pushes forward, your satchel's here, so it's a little checkmate. And to me, that's how you would make this a winning position. After you kill Phoenix ult, then you could probably do that reposition that you talked about into U-Haul, or maybe you would reposition showers, or you could even just stay around here and kind of play anti-flash and get a kill, something, I don't know. But to me, again, I said the nade position, location is the big thing to change, and then fighting with your satchels. Because we already allocated some resources like your Boombot and your nade to kind of contest short, and then you just run away with satchel afterwards because your Reyna dies, feels a little bit wasteful, right? Like that's more than half of our kit. We're not gonna really win the retake with half of our kit. Well, technically we only have one satchel, right? Since we're kind of fully committed here with Boombot nade, you do want to at least get one kill or delay a little bit longer to try to win the round. And the chances that you actually win the retake, right, if you satchel out here is very low. We're in a 4v5, you have no util, and you'd be giving them full A site. So it's a 4v5 post plant, but they have advantage and you have nothing to retake. So it's, regardless, it's high risk, right? But the reward is higher if you stay and try to get a kill and make it a more winnable position. And this is like the inflection point for a lot of rounds for duelists is they fall back too early because they get scared of the rush, which is, you know, understandable. There is a lot of util coming out at you. Like they have 3 flash characters, a whole Phoenix ult, and potentially a Skydog, so it's not going to be easy. But if you can't even, like, if you can't stall or even like get value out of it after using your whole kit, you're going to lose the round anyways, in my opinion. You're like asking for a miracle at that point. So it's kind of like weighing whether or not you think the post plant retake situation is going to be higher odds to win the round versus staying and fighting. And you can't really think about this in the round, so that's why we're doing it out of the game. So in the future, if you are in a situation like this where you're contesting map control, you don't want to be so afraid to give it up if it doesn't go exactly your way. Like we have to be fighting for map control. And since you have Raze as your agent, right? Raze has Nade, Raze has Satchel. Contesting map control is like literally part of your job description. If you think about bind A short, you can pull the parallel to Ascent A main. If they were to rush A main right now with Phoenix ult and Sky util, all you have to do is throw a nade off of this wall and land it right here. And then the hit is dead, right? If they push through the nade, then you can do the Satchel checkmate thing that we talked about, and you would be able to delay. You can see this pattern on choke points is applicable everywhere as Raze. You nade, you Satchel, you stop the rush. Do you kind of see what I'm saying here?
Yeah. The first thing I thought of after this was Sunset as well. Sunset B main.
Sunset B main, yep. So you can do it really everywhere. Split, you know, you can do it A ramp, A main even. Like your kit is, your nade in my opinion is stronger than Molly's because it fucks up crosshair placement. So you really want to consider fighting more aggressively when you use nade. Like your whole kit in my opinion is your nade. Like it's such a strong ability that if you throw it, you need to fight. They have triple flash, so walking up right side is hella risky. I don't hate it, but it's hella risky. So as long as you know.
Yep, someone was saying this round that they just like to early swing
Gotcha.
or they like to early swing hookah.
140.
Relatable, that's so relatable. The second Satchel just gets hit by the ledge, so we don't even get to do anything.
Left side.
Is this angle good? No.
Guys, Bob is in hookah.
No.
Okay, there's a few things to notice here. But let's see if we win this round first. And no, we don't. One, we take Hugo, whatever. Notice this nade. If you throw nade, I want you to think about how you would execute with this nade. Instead, you nade and then look for a fight, which is understandable given the team comp, right? Like there's no smoke for spawn. But more regularly, you would throw nade and then kind of just run out and then follow it up with the Satchel. So you can kind of like kill them either when they're running from the nade or when you just take the site space, right? Because something that can happen is if you throw this nade and just sit up here for a fight, and then after the nade dissipates, there's a spawn smoke. Let's just say there is a spawn smoke. They would just run out backside after the nade dissipates because you're not controlling the space. Duelist's job is to take map control and take space. The way you would do that most effectively is after your nade, you would entry. And then if you take the space off of the nade, if they ran out spawn, you would kill them. And then you would also be able to wrap site or, you know, whatever entry path you go for. So I'm not saying this is the best play in the situation because you have 5 duelists, but I want you to consider how you would speed up off of your nade. Because in this example, we go for this fight. So that's one. 2 is the post plant. You get onto this angle pretty early, but then you just sit here. I want you to think about how could you get a kill before it even gets into post plant, because it's a little bit uncomfortable. As an elbow player, we don't have a spawn smoke. Looking at it from my point of view, I would probably just Boombot right side and then either peek right side or I would peek left side. If I peek left side and see nothing, then I would kind of just walk up. At the very least, I want you to look for a kill here rather than just holding. Holding is too safe for me. If you're just holding, then you have much better positions to do that, like up here. You could just take sight, see nothing. You can hold from up here. Like I said, you can reposition up here. But if you're this close to CT and you're just holding, I feel like 1, it's a bad angle, but 2, you're so close enough that you might as well just go for a peek because you have the opportunity to do so. And you still have Boombot, so because you could even Boombot off left side and then peek right side. Gotta go for something. But this is too safe. If you sit here, to me, this is too safe. If you're gonna play safe, then you just play a better angle up here.
Okay. Now I have a question about the entry here. I saw the first time when you did it, you just used a single satchel. Pros and cons of doing a single satchel in the front versus the double satchel on the backside with the backside nade.
Yeah, so good question. With the so sometimes when I actually execute like this, I actually don't even single satchel. I satchel like this. Like I satchel into cubby. This is actually my most common way to execute on B because then everything is covered. Right, aside from elbow, I guess, and spawn because we don't have spawn smoke. So in this example, since we don't have spawn smoke, in this case, doing double satchel would probably make sense because you want to kind of make more space because we don't have the smoke. The smoke inherently lets you control the space more. Doing single satchel, right, lets you have your gun out, but then also just get a little bit more tempo. So if you can kind of clear cubby with your single satchel peak, like you're kind of going out, you just get a little bit faster with your nade, and then you would be able to capitalize while your nade is exploding, right? So double satchel basically gives you a little bit more safety in terms of this cubby, because if you make it back here, you're pretty safe from that guy and they're in nade. But, and you get to take more space, right? That's the pros. The cons is that if there is a guy here or in tube, you just die. So it's more risky in that case. The single satchel part, I find is a little bit more safe in general on a standard execute, because you would have smokes here and then you would have long teammates coming out to kind of keep this cubby guy from swinging wide. Like this guy can't swing wide because he's going to die from long. So that means that if you single satchel out, you can fully focus on the deep corner, kill that guy, and then you can kind of proceed. Single satchel is safer in the context of a standard execute. Double satchel gets more space and is potentially safer if there are no smokes, elbow or spawn. For me, normally actually I just nade like this and then satchel like this and I'll just jump out because I find that that converts this cubby kill a little bit better. But there's a lot of variance to there. Like it's honestly whatever feels better for you. Any questions or comments about the entry?
Yes, one more question. When it comes to nade positioning, doing it in cubby versus in tube versus backside, that's just based off of enemy tendency.
Yes, however, it's also timing. The quickest nade that you can throw from hookah is backside, right? Because it's just the one that you open up to first. So that's the most common one to throw. However, I would say the cubby one actually gives you more value than the backside nade because it fully clears this corner. And then you can just go up top side and then kill the guy backside. Because this fight for me feels favorable going up top side, whereas like this fight doesn't feel as favorable. So if you're looking off of purely positioning value, this nade cubby is better. And then the one that's better than both of those is actually the tube nade, but this one takes the long, like this is the slowest nade that you can't do because it's the last one that you get to, right? This is the first one. Then you have to run out wide to nade cubby, and then you have to run out even wider to nade tube. So it's all about matching your timing of the execute. Like if your teammates are coming out long and they're already coming out, then you're just nade backside. If they're being a little bit slower, then you can nade cubby. If they're being super slow or the round got reset, then you would nade tube, and then you would go from there. That's not a hard rule, like you could do it off of what you think the enemy positions are and tendencies and things like that, but it's more so about the timing than anything, and that's really the more important thing to consider. Okay, let's look at this round. We go B long, that's fine. About close, feels kind of wasted. I think what you might do here, so Boombot in close isn't technically bad because they have triple flash, but I also feel like because they let us run up so close, that's not really the Boombot I'm looking for. I'd want you to jump peek in the site. I have Boombot in hand, I would jump peek and then throw Boombot right side. So this would let me get info on if they're peeking right side site, which is actually what you die to coincidentally. But this is kind of what I'm doing. And then I Boombot that side, and then the Boombot would kind of zone this angle, which would then let me peek and clear this angle. And then that will let me kind of speed up for the execute. So boom, Boombot zones left side. I clear close, and then I can kind of go for the execute. And depending on where the Boombot goes, like if that could clear cubby, that would be great, but I don't think it will. So then you might go into the execute with nading cubby, or you can nade tube, or you can nade spawn run out, or you can nade back sight. Just doing whatever, but then that would like prep you into the execute more. So the big takeaway for this is just boombotting. One, to not die to the opera, and then two, using the Boombot to zone off that angle. Because in my opinion, I think this Boombot gets more value than just clearing close. So this is good. Now we're going A short. I like going A short. Guy shits in the guy showers. So this was good because you comboed your nade with your swing, right? Like this is a good example of that. The thing to note here is simply you're just scared of that fight. Like we just have to commit to that duel. I don't know if you notice on minimap here. Actually, you can even just see this Phoenix is getting ready to swing. So off of the info that I see my Phoenix is close triple, I would just nade and then go for the swing, right? Because like it would be a double swing. But two, you also just committed your nade, but you're jiggle peeking this guy, which is not good. Like if you commit your nade, that means that that should be a full swing because you need to get a kill off of it. And the way I like to think about it is like if I nade, I'm like, I have to get a kill. Don't be scared to take the duel. Like this is a good duel for you to take. magic. And because you go for that jiggle fight, you don't trade the chamber, so he kills the Phoenix ult. And then now he gets to reposition and then fight you. Like he's now taking an isolated duel on you. And then chances are we lose the round. We do lose the round though. You could probably tell actually just from watching this game, if you specifically made it a note, is that we actually don't get that many gunfights on offense. The gunfights that we do take are jiggle fights, like the guy Heaven with the op, the guy back triple, or even the guy that we just fought on the round before in the chamber. So there's a few things that means to me is one, maybe you just don't have enough space to feel comfortable. But two, maybe we're just scared in general. So I don't know which the case is, but if it's the space problem, then we could try forcing double satchels earlier. Right, your double satchel here is kind of late. You might even consider double satching here a little bit earlier to make space on site, right? But like right now, we're actually, if you draw a line from your teammates, we're the last one in line. Yoru's in front of us, Jet's in front of us, Reyna's in front of us, and Phoenix has already gotten the kill showers, and technically he's in front of us too if we draw the line. We're last in line here. We should not be last in line because you and Jet are the movement agents. So like he needs to be dashing up and you need to be satching out.
I definitely feel like it's an issue of being scared. Because I feel like I don't know Raze as well as I know Jet.
That's fair. And Jet dashes are safer, right? Because you have a smoke.
Yeah.
That's just a thing that you have to get comfortable, I think, with. It's just understanding when to go for satchels. Like even in this example here on this round, like you see the Yoru ult, right? He's gonna clear sight for you, which is great.
Drop side.
I would start trying to throw my nade back sight and then satching out based off secondary info. So nade backside would cover that, and then I would satchel out and then pre-aim the Reyna and kill him because I would see him off of the Yoru ult. But like we don't even go for that space. You wait for your other duelists to kind of come out, then you throw a nade, and then now you're following them, right? The Jet dashed out, and then the Reyna blinded and jumped out. You're the last one out again off of this example. Whereas like I think realistically you should be one of the first players out because you're following the Yoru ult and these guys are behind. It's just a common thing that we're seeing is like we're scared to be first or second out on the execute, and you're prioritizing getting the kills rather than making the space. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that you could work on, is focus on making space / entering on sites rather than your life, I guess, / getting kills. And it's a fear that you just have to overcome because you don't know how to do it yet, which is understandable, but you won't learn how to do it if you don't do it. And right now we haven't done it yet. Like even all the double satchels we've seen so far on attack have been safe double satchels. Like you've satcheled from here to here at the default like twice. And we haven't gone for the early round double satchel in the showers once. Go for the early duel. Someone in chat summed it up pretty well. More explosiveness, the Raze vibes. So yeah, just have some more explosive offense game style. Thank you for making it this far. If you found this video helpful, please consider joining my Discord server to get more helpful resources. And also, YouTube thinks that you will find this next video helpful.